International University of Rabat, to Professor Jamal Al-Mukhtar for having me here. Not to be lost in the end of term summer haze, this is a very timely issue which has the possibility, real possibility, to draw the literal states of the Atlantic together. Ladies and gentlemen, what is North and what is South? Such concepts which have come to dominate our thinking and policy have become so rigid that they significantly limit the possibility for cross-cultural exchange, dialogue, trade, and intercontinental communication. As many Moroccans will know, every good story, or many good stories, begin with an Idrisi. And much as this state was founded upon an Idrisi state, my lecture will be founded upon an Idrisi map. So I ask you to take a look at the aid. Muhammad al-Idrisi, Sharif, academic, geographer, cartographer, faqih, medic, and general wise man that you would find wandering medieval Morocco, published many important works that contribute to our modern understanding of the world, no less so than his seminal set of maps. This map, which is Idrisi's world map, with Mecca at its center and Europe to its south, is so important and so striking in the modern context in how it literally turns upside down our concept of North and South. Now, given Idrisi's contribution to cartography and how European Renaissance mapping came from Idrisi, how we ended up in this prism of North and South, to me, is fascinating. Idrisi's map literally keeps our North-South concepts of the world upside down. This modern concept of polarity, or supposed polarity, which groups development, prosperity, and even supposes civilizational maturity, is so foreign to a part of the world which gave the rest of the world maps, it simply cannot be allowed to stratify our thinking going forward. No more pertinent are the chains of this North-South prism in academia than in concerning Morocco's interaction with the United Kingdom and the United States. Amidst nothing short of a wider geopolitical collaboration in recent years, Morocco has entered into an association agreement with the United Kingdom, an event which has been much lauded by both the press in Rabat and in London for the new era of trade and of interconnection that it has ushered. These accords are actually only a reaffirmation of accords that have existed through time. We have the 1856 Morocco-Anglo Agreement, we have the 1600 agreement between Elizabethan England and the Saudi Morocco, and then of course the 1213 agreement between King John and the Kingdom of England, which now, 810 years old, has only just reappeared in the considerations of decision makers in London, who now laud Morocco as their oldest Arab and Muslim ally. So imposing has the prism of this supposed North-South divide been, that only after decades of globalization are these two Atlantic countries rediscovering each other. If Moroccan sailors could voyage to London in 2.5 weeks in the pre-modern era, then in the current era where the voyage now takes 2 hours, there are no reasons for the barriers to trade and interconnection to exist because of this North-South divide. In fact, so ingrained are the divisions of our world that the commonalities which bind us together are too frequently lost. The sweet mint tea that we drink, and even the pot in which it is served, which have become so synonymous with the Moroccan nation brand, are British imports. The scarcity of coffee in 19th century Morocco, and yet another war in Eastern Europe involving Russia, meant that British gunpowder tea merchants dumped their excess tea on Moroccan ports, encouraging the practice which we have today. Years before the East India Company and the British Raj, buccaneering Britain's first ambitious trading outpost was the Royal Africa Company's outpost at Tangier. Well into the 17th century, Moroccan pirates occupied and raised their flag on a British island 15 kilometers from the mainland. And several sultans of Morocco kept British gunsmiths, British wives, architects, and way into the 20th century, the commander of the Sultan's army was a Scottish Qaid. We have lost these stories that bind us across the Atlantic because of the prism of the North-South divide. Ladies and gentlemen, these stories are endless and the parallels are too many to list. Nevertheless, the point I'm trying to make is the interlinkages that draw Atlantic countries together are deeply rooted in our collective memory, if only we go and find them. We cannot hope to thrive in the present without understanding our past. Ladies and gentlemen, 133 countries and territories border the Atlantic. 4 of the world's 5 biggest countries border the Atlantic. 70% of the world's states border the Atlantic. Our prosperity is linked to increased cooperation and transaction, and transatlantic cooperation cannot remain an academic hobby to be parlayed in the salons of the global north. It must be something that is discussed in the global south. The population of the EU is expected to decline in 2/3 of its regions by 2050. The population of Africa is at least expected to double. 4 out of the 5 countries that are increased to join the most prosperous countries by 2050 will be Atlantic countries. Increased exchange between Morocco, Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America is central to prosperity, for coastal states have always sought their prosperity out at sea. Insular and regional concerns are a sure route to economic stagnation and failure. Therefore, transatlantic cooperation is a policy imperative. Thank you very much.